Please subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Jesus,
hallelujah. Bethune-Cookman has just taken off. I mean, that school has really grown, but it grew under the leadership of your husband.
Yes. I'm glad to hear you say that.
That's how it did it. I was there.
Somebody
I saw
said
it.
That's right.
I saw it.
That's
I saw
right.
it happen.
That's right.
Give him a little credit.
Yes, Lord.
This university will forever remember Dr. Oswald P. Changed this university. It was college there, but he was the man who changed this university, who grew it, who really understood and that where we needed to go. He understood accreditation. He understood all facets of the university, and he listened.
A man of his word.
If his word was his bond, if he told you he was going to do something, that's exactly what he did, and he did.
He treated us like we were his daughters. It was just fatherly advice at every point in my life. So it was a fatherly, father-boss relationship that I will forever be grateful for.
Jesus, hallelujah.
Bethune-Cookman has just taken off. I mean, that school has really grown, but it grew under the leadership of your husband.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
That's how it did it. I was there.
Somebody
I saw
said
it.
That's right.
I saw it.
That's
I saw
right.
it happen.
That's right.
I am Ann Taylor Green. I worked at Bethune-Cookman 38 years. So I was here doing Dr. Bronson's the entire time. I did not serve on his cabinet as a member of the administration all that time. When he came here, I was an instructor of mathematics. This university will forever remember Dr. Oswald P. Changed this university. It was college there, but he was the man who changed this university, who grew it, who really understood and that where we needed to go. He understood accreditation. He understood all facets of the university, and he listened.
You know, great listener.
Yes.
He was the best listener that I could ever find.
Yes.
I mean, even though he was smart, but see, he wanted to hear what you gotta say.
That's right.
And he would listen. Yes, he would listen. And if somebody else interrupts while you are talking, he would say, hold it. Let him finish. Because he wanted to get everything that you are saying. For me, that has been very useful. So I knew that was the art of it. You gotta let people talk. And so when you come to see me now, I let them finish. I wouldn't interrupt whether they were making sense or not. I say, are you done? Are you finished completely? And then when they say, well, I'm done, that's when I respond. Because you gotta let people feel that, they've been heard.
Yes.
Just listen, And even though you can't have that sometimes,
That's right.
but the fact that you give them the audience.
Yes.
I am Kathy Desmore Reeves, and I worked with Dr. Bronson for 12 years. At that time, I was one of 3 secretaries in the office, and his thing was listen and learn. Communication is the key. Learn as much as you can. Listen and learn. Teach and learn. Be able to talk to any person on a professional level and get your point across.
Well, one thing, Bonnie, you should know this. now that I have some experience as a college president in hand and behind me,
Yeah.
not everybody who goes into these roles play by the rules. We were talking about that a minute ago.
Right.
And many people don't think much of integrity when they get into these positions. Dr. Bronson was every bit that word.
Integrity.
Oh, stop. And that's partly why people took issue with him at times.
Yeah.
And he was a role model for me.
I was with Dr. Bronson for so many years. Bethune and Waters College.
Right.
And those were the presidents who took the job more than just the title. Okay? It was more than the title. It was really about the institution, about the students. It was about making a difference. It wasn't just about being president. And you don't find that these days. It's very hard. Most people that we find in these positions now are there for some other, more than just making a difference.
Well, you saw him, you met him after he got to the sub-developments.
He was still president then.
Oh, he was still president?
It was in the.
Okay.
You saw how he carried himself. You saw his stature, his posture. And a man of his word. The first day I went into office there at Shaw, I called Samuel Du Bois Cook. You remember Samuel Du Bois Cook? Sam Cook had been a good friend and mentor of mine for years, so I called him. He was retired at that time from his presidency. I said, Dr. Cook, I know you're busy, but if you had one word to give me, this is my first day on the job, what would it be? And without hesitating, he said, integrity. Integrity. And hung the phone up.
Oh Jesus!
And so Dr. Cook and Dr. Bronson.
Okay.
Now, after that, I met guys and I even met ladies who they would be shady. They would be shady.
Even though they were presidents.
Oh my Lord, that didn't mean anything. He was true blue. He was the real deal, as you might say. He really was.
Hey! I gotta hug you.
Hello there. How are you?
Bunny.
This is our firstborn. This is a bunny.
Oh, Bunny. How you doing?
But she was born on Easter.
You see your colleagues, Dr. Lyons? Here you see Earl Richardson and Art Thomas.
Okay.
Let him stand over there.
I'm doing fine.
Give him a chance.
Charlie, good to see you, man. Good to see you. We got a reunion going on here. Isn't that something?
I want to say get down so he can see you.
Okay.
He can see. Daddy, this is Charlie Lyons to see you. Yeah, I know.
Girl, I haven't seen you in a year or two. Yes, indeed.
You look good, man.
He does. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Actually, I have. This is an excellent day.
My friend,
My friend,
Don't control everything, Mom.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Daddy, they were telling me some stories about you in meetings. How you like? Well, I think I was the one to say he's the pastorly, fatherly.
Yeah.
Probably, and then here's the pastor with all the cussing presidents.
Yeah.
Central State,
Bronson
Morgan State, Fayetteville State.
Make me afraid, act like wild men, and then they get the money for their school.
It was just the opposite. And the important thing was, whatever he told you, that's what he did. If his word was his bond. If he told you he was going to do something, that's exactly what he did. And he did.
Remember you called me cussing president.
The cussing
You
president.
called me cussing president. Got a president that's praying and a president that's cussing. He taught you more manners, didn't he?
Hey, well, he did too, but not so much by his instruction as by his mouth. By his
Look how he's smiling. Look how he is smiling. Bunny, you should see him.
see a sermon rather than the hill.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was it.
And I want to get all of them to.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Bunny, look how he is smiling. Y'all don't know what this means now.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know what this means. You see how he is smiling.
Yeah, well, we
You all
smile
mean
just
something to him.
We
Now, a
smile.
lot of folks can come, but you all really mean something.
He means something to us.
He means something to us. That's exactly right. That's exactly
But
right.
I want to get on this picture corner.
Yes, you do. All right. You're too
funny.
I want to get them, honey.
Yeah.
baby.
I'm right now on video. So
Okay, that's all right. That's
I'm
all
just,
right.
so you all continue
Best
talking.
friend.
Yes. Just so.
I didn't even scream.
Look, he said you've been doing that for all these years. A few more years is not gonna hurt.
He may be tired of it, but I'm not.
Yeah, I know that's right. I know that's right. Try it again later.
Man, I know some cats on TV can't talk with you now, man.
Yes.
He certainly had a penchant for developing people.
He did. Absolutely. And he could spot it. You know, he could see it in you when you just couldn't see it in yourself.
He saw something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Like I said, when I went into the academic affairs, I went kicking and screaming. I was scared. And so I had been there all those years, and still I did not feel that I was ready. But he did. He felt that I was ready. And I guess I was. I guess so.
Coming in so young into the role, everybody in America knew how I was the youngest AD in the nation, and was ridiculed. Even on campus, people would say, "Oh, that's little Lynn. I've been knowing him all his life," and it was tough. But Dr. Bronson challenged me. He told me to dream, and he would always say, "Dream and build it, man, build it." And he told me, he said, "Look, I may not be able to give you buildings, but I want you to build it with people." And so he let me build a team, and we were able to really, really attract some great people, and we built a great program based on his vision. And I think the proof is in the pudding.
He saw in me a lot that I truly did not see in myself. And he encouraged me to work on those gifts that God had given me, because I was doing something that certainly was not my area. But he said to me, you're a good organizer, good protocol person. I am going to make you my director of protocol. I want you to go out there and learn all and do whatever you can to get certified. And that's what pushed me back to do that. And he saw that in me, and I did not see that in me. And I am ever so grateful for him doing that for me.
But he really had a penchant for that, for spotting talent and spotting what people could do. I can remember one of my friends said, Dr. Bronson built that college. Dr. Bronson built that college. He picked up from where it was. You know, it's not like we're saying that nobody else did it, but he picked up from where it was. He respected what had been done before him, and he took it from there to greater heights.
When we became presidents, these were the teachers.
Absolutely.
These were the teachers.
Oh, we learned from them. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed.
He really was, though. People say larger than life, but as I was thinking about him, you know, he was the first person before I went into a graduate school program or a master's program, PhD program, that taught me that great philosopher, you know, Martin Buber, I, it, and I, thou. You know, if you treat something like an it responds as an object. But if you treat them like a thou, a sacred human being, they'll respond to you in kind. And that taught me a life lesson that I'll never forget, because he treated every human being like a sacred human being, no matter their station in life. And I learned the value of treating people that way from Oswald P.
One of the great moments that I can recall in my career was we played in the Heritage Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia. We represented the MEAC against the SWAC in a bowl game. And as a result, we spent, the football team and the band, we spent Christmas night in Atlanta, Georgia. And I said, Dr. Bronson, you know, the teams are here. Everybody's away from their homes. It would do us a great honor if you would preach to us tonight and also serve us communion. Most of these kids and people know you as President Bronson, but they don't know you as Reverend Bronson. And on that night, he preached to the team and he served the team communion, and they saw him in a different light. And that was amazing, you know, and that's a moment I'll never forget.
It was a real experience. I never forget the first couple of weeks. I would always run out of the office when Dr. Bronson pulled up right in front of the building, because I was afraid of him. And one day I jumped up and I ran out of the office and I went in the restroom. And when I came back, he was sitting at my desk. So he said, well, I wanted to come back and say good morning to you and welcome to the office. And if you have any questions, Ms. Lee will answer all your questions. So it was, he welcomed you in. Sometimes you're going to have to say no. Some people can say no with a smile and some people can't. He said, you're going to have to be stern. And you'll learn it. You'll learn it, because Ms. Lockley and Ms. Lee, they'll teach you. And that's just what it was. It was a learning experience. I have a guest coming on campus. I need y'all to look presentable. He wanted us to be prepared for anything and everybody that came into the office. And he treated us like we were his daughters. And any daughter wants to know how she's looking or how she's doing from her dad. And that's what he was to me. He was a father away from me. When my dad died, he was there. When my daughter was born, he was there. When I got married, he was there. It was just fatherly advice at every point in my life. When I got the keys to my house, he was there. When I bought my first lemon, he was there. When I told him I was in love, he said, "With who?" So it was a father-boss relationship that I will forever be grateful for.
My name is Peggy Knighton Lee. I worked in the president's office beginning in 1976, 1 year after Dr. Bronson arrived in Daytona Beach. It was quite a challenge working in the president's office, but it was something that I loved because of the person I worked with. Dr. Bronson was just such a wonderful man, such a gentleman, always showed respect to you. It didn't matter to him what your title was. He wanted you to know that he respected you. So it was just great seeing Dr. Bronson walk into the office. He would come in with a smile and he'll stop right there at the door as he got into the office and speak to Miss Desmore, whomever was at that front desk, and then come on back and greet everybody in the office. So it didn't make any difference with us whether he was in town or out of town. You know, a lot of people were happy when their boss was out of town because they got loose. But in our office, we were happy when our boss was in town. We could ask him anything that we were confused about or needed his directions on. He was always willing to give that to us.
Well, the last thing I would want to say is that I think the two words that Dr. Green used a little earlier, my friend, will go down in history for Dr. Bronson. When I see people everywhere, they always say, "How is my friend?"
You know, my dad hated firing people. He hated laying off people. I mean, he really struggled with it. So when he was president of ITC, I think it was my sister who came to him and said, "Daddy, we heard that you fired Mr. So-and-so." And Daddy said, "Oh, firing is such a harsh word. I just took away his salary."
Daddy, they were telling me some stories about you in meetings. How you like? Well, I think I was the one to say he's the pastorly, fatherly.
Yeah.
Probably, and then here's the pastor with all the cussing presidents. Central State, Morgan State, Fayetteville State.
Make me afraid, act like wild men, and then they get the money for their school.
You were just the opposite. Look, one of his very dear friends, I never will forget this, and of course Charlie and Art both know this story. We were going in to elect the next president for Nuffield, and of course all of the presidents have very good relationships.
Should this be on camera?
No. Yes.
Okay.
Those that are good and those that are bad, we were all one family.
You're right.
And even if we couldn't vote for you, then we still love you because you're still one family.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So look, I'm going to tell this story. You have to just sanitize it when you, depending on who you're talking to. But Bronson said to me when I went in, he said, "Earl," he said, "who you think we should have as next president of Nuffield?" I said, "Well, I think the best one is." Bronson said, So that's not the one that I'm supposed to vote for. But look, he said, "Earl," he says, "because you're my friend," he says, "on the first vote, I'm going to give you my vote. But on the second one, if you don't get it the first one, I got to go back because they'll know that I would have voted for you." And the important thing was, whatever he told you, that's what he did. If his word was his bond. If he told you he was going to do something, that's exactly what he did. And he did. When I got that vote, old Bronson, I had the Bronson's vote. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Now, little girls never get too big. Daddy's girl. That's a daddy's girl. This is the one and only Bunny Bronson with Father Bronson.
I believe it.
You know what he said to us many times? I can't give you a raise, so I'm going to give you some praise.
That's right.
We can't give you a raise, so we're going to give you some praise.
And you know what is the
Please subscribe, like, share, and comment.